Starting on Monday on BBC1, Cops and Robbers, a season of films on the exploits of those on the wrong side of the law, including the film of the same name about two policemen who turn criminal.
What is this?
It's a robbery. What do you think it is? We want bearer bonds. $10 million worth. Nothing over $100,000, nothing under 20.
Freebie and the Bean features Alan Arkin and James Caan trying to keep a guilty man alive in an action-packed comedy of police incompetence. Robert Mitchum stars in The Friends of Eddie Coyle as a police informer caught up in the tough world of arms deals.
Suppose we was to talk about machine guns.
Look, I got two problems selling machine guns to people like you. The first is selling machine guns. That's life in this state.
A man, a woman and a bank finds Donald Sutherland engaged in a $4 million robbery using a computer.
We're going to be famous. We're going to be very, very famous.
We're robbing a bank. No, we're not finding a cure for cancer.
And the season begins with The Brinks Job, the true story of a group of bungling crooks led by Peter Falk who attempt to rob a security firm.
Frankly, no one thinks you'll pull it off.
Who's no one?
Everyone.
The Brinks Job begins the Cops and Robbers season on Monday at 9:25 on BBC1.
Our Saturday night serial Driving Ambition continues in 15 minutes, and at 9:45 it's Wogan with Cliff Richard, Jane Lapotaire and Michael Parkinson. Now at the time at 8:40 it's time for the news and sport, and first the news from Jan Leeming.
Lancashire miners split over ending their strike. The last foreign peacekeeping troops pull out of Beirut. 4 South Africans are held in Coventry, charged with illegally exporting anti-missile equipment to South Africa. Mark Thatcher says he's sorry his business dealings caused unnecessary aggravation to his mother. And at Aintree, Hallo Dandy, last at the first fence, is first at the last. After their strike that's lasted just 1 week, Lancashire miners seem deeply divided over whether to return to work or carry on the strike. Delegates met this morning at Bolton, but although the overall vote was clearly in favour of a return to work on Monday, the various pits were plainly still at odds. It won't be until they've had their own meetings tomorrow that a clearer picture will emerge. At present, only Agecroft pit definitely wants to work. Sutton Manor and Bold want to continue the strike and were organising flying pickets. At Bickershaw, Parsonage and Goulburn, the position was less clear. This report from Felicity Goody.
A week-long strike to cool off now over, and delegates had to decide what to do next. 3 times Lancashire leaders have asked national officials for a national ballot. They've had, in their words, one totally inconclusive reply. Lancashire leaders believe there should be a strike over pit closure, but failure to coordinate national action leaves them, they say, no option but to try to work normally. That was the decision Agecroft had wanted.
We don't want to be forced out with intimidation and abuse. We want a national ballot, and if that goes for a strike, then we'll be 100% behind it.
But if some pits are determined to work on Monday, others are equally determined they should not.
We're going to stop electric coffee and follow down the river.
I will not cross. I'm branch secretary at Bolton. Nowhere will I cross a picket line.
So the Lancashire miners are now split right down the middle. Although the overwhelming majority of the delegates voted here this morning to resume work on Monday, there are at least 3 pits who are likely to rebel. And certainly miners from 2 collieries are already planning to organise flying pickets to try and persuade the rest of their colleagues around the Lancashire coalfield not to go to work either.
We're not Lancashire miners, us. We're Great Britain miners. One out, all out.
An opinion poll to be published in the Mail tomorrow suggests that if the NUM were to hold a ballot, it would produce a substantial majority for an all-out strike. According to the NOP poll, 60% of miners would vote to strike, 5% more than is needed under union rules. The last of the multinational peacekeeping force in Beirut, the French contingent, have pulled out. So for the first time since the civil war began in 1975, there's no active foreign military presence in the city.